Kamon man long slur ringkat bat kamany ba Shong kya ka Shong hag jinglong scam ba jingjek ba start ka jong pi katata haya kakali ban san ya kalintiyat ka jong pi kalaban long ka jong pi menta bok ya katata haya ka frang motors like korani ne phone hunu number bala ai harum
Uminji rang ba ka jylla Conrad kongkal sangma ulai thu ba haki Khyndiat Snem gi baladep Kumba lais pa anrup ho Klur drugs la yo ban Kurup bat ka sarkar ka bu ya ka thong ban pindu ja ja drug da ka jing trailang bat kiseng troi mon so bha ki dorba Shong kiseng nyam ling ba ka dream lani ka drugs reduction elimination and action mission Habakran heading ki jingelang blapalong da ka tanat social welfare department ha ususu tham auditorium Hello ka thong jong ka dream bat ka build u Conrad ulong ba ka jing pelong ye ka dream bat ka build program ka long ka ba don kam namar hapru ban penbet ya ki jing don kam ha kisnong ki thao ulong ba ka dream project ka dei ka program ka sarkar banya snok ti lang ki ramba snong bat ka thong ka long ban wanra ya ko bai ka ransan banya troi lang habreng ki seng ki snong bat ki kin ho nyam ha ka ba ka sarkar kan ai jing kersan ya ki rehabilitation center Ulong baka thong jong kani ka project ka long ru ban kersan ya ki priu na ki longying ki badok ki badon kam bandon ha ki rehabilitation center Ulong baka sarkar ka ha banya troilang bat ki ki sarkar jylla kumjoru bat ka sarkar pedeng kala patha ya ka jylla pakan long ka bapin ngor da ka bapin klan yi ki bol sintiat ban te la kam yi ki nong khai drugs ka baplong banta ban yo kem ya ki babun ngor ki blale ya ka kam khai be an ha ka ju ko por Conrad Ulai tu ba menta ke jylla Meghalaya ka donru yala ka jong ka jaka ban tesi ban don kam ban shania shu highway pat ke jylla bat kini ka lairap ban pinstom kloy kat kong ka an yaki breu ki badon kti
So Dream Project is the actual main program that we're running, and Build is actually building of the community participation for the Dream Project to go ahead. So it is a part of the community involvement aspect and how we would like to now connect with the community and ask the local dorbas and the local villages, the headmen, the nokmas and development committees to now participate and work with this. So this is very much part of the Dream Project, and Build is one component of the Dream Project. In fact it has started everywhere. But obviously we cannot do everything in the same day. This requires a very focused approach. So you will see the things rolling out. If you must have seen that in Jaintia Hills also we have not really had a program. So it will be in a sequence base. So the next stop obviously will be either Joy or Tura. So it's a process. So therefore we have to start somewhere because it requires a very focused and a localized approach. And hence we have done it in a very localized way here in Shillong. And Khasi Hills. The same process will be followed further in Karo Hills and Jaintia Hills also. So basically this Dream Project is precisely about that. There was always a gap between what the community and private NGOs were doing and what the government maybe was doing. So hence we realized that the best way to really approach this problem is to work together. And hence we are here to support the private and the NGOs, the private rehabilitation centers, the religiously run religious groups, run rehabilitation centers, or private, run rehabilitation centers. Our purpose is to provide the facilities to our people. Who provides it is not what we're trying to target, but government will now support these private and NGO and religiously run organizations means rehabilitation programs. Government will fund them and support them in whatever way possible to run the rehabilitation programs in a better manner. And wherever necessary, we will examine and we will see if government needs to set up, if there are no private bodies. But we want to avoid government directly opening up rehabilitation centers. That is exactly our point, and that is why this whole program has been organized, and that's why the Dream Project has been conceptualized, because we realize that there are challenges like these where the rates are very high. So government subsidizing these organizations will automatically obviously lead to the reduction in the price and the cost and the expenses that are incurred in these rehabilitation centers. While I say that, the point that we are all trying to make out here, that this is a very complex situation and a problem, and we are not saying that we will be able to resolve all the issues or we can overcome things in a matter of months. the process will continue, engagement will continue. But for the first time that in the state and in our government, that there has been a focused and a planned program to bring the different departments and different stakeholders together, funded by government, to work together to address this issue. So I don't have all the details of everything. I can just tell you in the numbers that the drugs worth about 360 or something crores worth was seized, and all of them have been destroyed. And basically these involve different kind of drugs, be it marijuana or heroin or different kind of tablets or cough syrup. So all cumulative and through the years this amount, and it has been increasing every year. So that is the reason why we are more concerned about the supply side also. So while we are checking the supply side, it is important that we also look at the local issues, and hence these programs have been now.
This value of 360 plus crores, it's for how many years? Like 10 years?
No, for the last 3 years, 2 years. I don't have the exact data. I would request if you can just have a word with DGP. He will give you the exact breakup of this number. Number one, most importantly, we have to remember that we have to work with central government and the other state governments very closely. Central government has been very, very aggressive on this matter, and they have been continuously pushing us to ensure that we take very aggressive steps in terms of continuous monitoring, intelligence collection, taking stand and tough measures against those who are involved in the drug smuggling business. So these steps have been taken, and that's why you've seen so many arrests that have been made. We had challenges before because we did not have our own labs, and hence we could not test the products, and hence the conviction that had to be done was taking a lot of time, because by the time the labs gave the report back to us, the 90-day period was over. Hence we then went ahead and we got our own forensic lab. We invested in it, and today now no longer do we have to depend on any other state. We do our own testing, and immediately we are convicting people who are involved based on the different laws that are there. And therefore there's a concerted effort. Both central government, the different state governments and our state government, we are all working together. And as I said, the aggressiveness can be seen in the way the different arrests have been made and the different seizures that have been made.
The kajing sedang kejongai kini kiki baro kalau 2016 ubah sedang. But kajing kini jongai na 2016 kalau ter. But shikun kajing ki bangla shema tu kipor. Namar kumha ka jinglong kena kejingya inti kejonga ngampat stu yaki walong tang breu nakata kadau bad henry kejingya inti kejonga ringkat ba kejingkan man ban poi sekanti ke babha de ngala sham shipun ki ban kejingya inti ngala sutu de shipun ki la ki balang layo jingera henry tu por ngampat stu kumdo bangan la benyele persya ita kejing sne ki babon de driver kejingya inti kejonga baru pana jirong play jongi nakata kadau mutang ala poi ni kejaka bar kejingya rap ka bangalayo shipon kalong kadai na po karihap sinto ka bang ngasa de kadai ti po jowa ka kateng joka kadai ka breakthrough center de hang thiru ka first time ho bangalay shipon kijing hikai shipon ki bangalayo ma na kamin siro jong pa na ki khamal la jong and re wala ka taru ngampat la persatu namar ba kijing pesoi ki pamala kasni ana long tang kena kejeng kejonga ngampat la be dia persya and re ka sien ka ba arpan ngaladon kamen sim ka batrang shisha bangala ba tiar no kini ki basnio kumba ki ong kumantang along soba la padadap snam kanang dan dia tang ki panai re ka ta kamilai but kumba ki ong ka kintin ong wai ki ong recovery is a journey, it's not a destination. Nakata kadang ngaru adani kata kamen sim bangala balong tau breu balong soba bai hoi namar kade ke journey ke jm ke jongi ki breu baro hi kade ke journey nakata kadang long ki ba klan ke jumo ji perkan keep fighting kumaki orang tenang wai kang ba fila ban job ishipon ki mundai tan drugs kini ki jingki tembuai bar shipon ki jing sneu baro hakane ka pertain ong yang kini kejaka bangalong beriu balasya di jimu ji berkat long beriu blak klan kanu ka kamru tena kata kadang sekolong kemen sipon ban aku aru ban amin sim ya baro ki parlok ni le se dan apring jungi ki bala yap dan ki bana sabar tena skwa ban kerelas kini ka Hakani ka menet ban ngakwa ban ong nakikintien ban kran kalang kumnia. Hajigim ki breu baman la kasni ki jing ababon ni hapan yakon na ki ken ni san nu so tho ni rong sluk jing tin ki dei ya jing ka center omdan ka basak kadang ha perthai lam jing jong ni long le no ai ka shong pat hangi ken kum nongin ya le halade busan to perkhat to perkhat khule shibon.
My name is Barry Leslie Karmalthi. I'm the General Secretary of the Meghalaya User Forum. I'm also the Treasurer of Meghalaya State Network of Positive People. I'm the General Secretary of the Northeast Regional Network of People Living with HIV. I'm also the Secretary of the Lulong Sorongkam. Although I may have all these different designation to me, but in an ordinary life, I'm just Barry Leslie, a person living with HIV, and also at the same time a person fighting addiction and clean for 16 years. I would like to request all of us to, I'm a very optimistic person now. Although I'm very sarcastic also at times, but I'm very optimistic. The media has highlighted this drug issue in Meghalaya as, a doom and gloom situation. But, sometimes it's the media's fault because we always look at the negative aspect of what's happening in our society. We fail to look at the positive aspect of what's happening in the society. We have so many boys also that have come out of addiction. We need to use this community as our tool to fight addiction. I believe when I look at dream, my dream is based on 3 A's: accessibility, affordability, and availability. So many NGOs here, so many rehabilitations here, but do you know half of our boys are outside in other rehabilitation centers? Because our rehabs here are not accessible anymore. Our rehabilitations here are not accessible anymore. Our rehabilitation centers here are not affordable anymore. I come out clean from Kripa Foundation, thanks to the Kripa team. I came out clean from Kripa Foundation in the year 2007. That also after 4 times of being in the rehab. And I would like to thank my mom for the support. But not many of our boys could afford all these things. Rehabilitation center has become so expensive, let me tell you. So my dream is on these 3 A's: accessibility, affordability, and availability. There are so many stories we can use. I got clean, I got sobered because I could see, because another addict made it possible. Through his life, through his example, he showed that I can beat addiction, I can come out of it. In the true sense also why I become healthy even though I'm living with HIV, because I saw another person living with HIV before me, living a healthy life. It doesn't matter what the doctors say, what the counselors say, but what the person that has gone through, how does he live his life? How is his life connected to me, and how will his recovery impact mine? So I would like to tell you, not all is doom and gloom in Meghalaya. We have so many success stories. We have Zion who's 2 years clean. We have Neil who's 10 years clean. You have my brother who's 10 years clean. We have Jerry who's I think 9 months clean. We have Marvin who's 1 year clean. We have so many, but we fail to project these heroes in our society. We always focus on the negative. That's why I always say, we have a word and we have a phrase in our community: nothing about us without us. You cannot fight addiction in Meghalaya if you do not involve the community. And involve the community doesn't mean that you just call us for meetings. No. Involve us meaningfully. Involve us meaningfully in how to counter the epidemic. I have never liked International Day Against Drug Abuse, because the repercussions and the backlash we face from those days is very tough. Everybody will round out drug addicts during those 2-3 days, beat up drug addicts, round up drug addicts to show, because International Day Against Drug Abuse says that drug addicts are bad and all. So I really hated International Day Against Drug Abuse. I know half of the NGO, 80% of the NGOs that are here, if all drug addicts change, 80% of you will be jobless, guaranteed. 80% of you here will be jobless if there's no drug addict. So we must also think about sustainability. We must think about programs on how to socially reintegrate back our boys into the society. It's not doom and gloom, it's not the end. I think we need to go back to basics. Look at how the first program on rehabilitation came. We should always remember these two great men, Bill and Bob. They are the founders of AA Anonymous. And as addicts, we have the NA, the narcotic animals. When we look back to all these, we might find that the simple solution is going back to basic, and that is to understand these people. I've always tell people that, we have created laws, we have created so many things that are with force. Alexander has almost conquered the whole world with force. Hitler has almost conquered the whole world with force, but none of their principles stayed in this world. None of their principles ever stayed around. Nobody follows the principle of force. Look at Jesus Christ. We are a Christian state. His ministry is only for 3 years. His principle was love, and love was what got me out of addiction. Thank you very much.
Earlier, the main abusers were the male or the boys, but now many young girls, they started falling prey to the drug abuse. And once the drug abuse, we are in the grip of drug abuse, it can lead to the subsequent other crimes like domestic violence and traffic accident. You will be surprised to know that in Shillong alone, daily 4 to 5 cases of domestic violence are reported in the various police stations of Shillong. Daily 3 to 4 traffic accidents are happening in the Shillong town alone, and when we analyze the regions, it leads to either drink or the drugs. So these are the reasons why the Meghalaya is a sensitive state from the drug menace point of view. And when I say with facts and figures, if we compare the last 2 years figure only, 2020-22 in Meghalaya, 116 cases were registered. Only NDPS Act cases. In 2023, we have registered 183 cases. That shows that there is an upward trend. In 2022, we have arrested 234 number of drug traffickers. And this arrest figure till today, 4th December in 2023, the figure has gone into 349. So you can say that drug trafficking is also on the rise. Then last year, 2022, we have seized the heroin 7.5 kg, and 2023 till today, we have seized 16.7 kg heroin. And 1 kg heroin has capacity to make 2,000 youths as a drug addict, because the dose required is a very, very small quantity. Those we have heard and we have seen the testimony of the various abusers earlier. They will testify that a small amount of drug is required, and if any youth takes 3 doses of the heroin, 150 milligram, 150 milligram, 150 milligram, then his body will become totally dependent on the drugs, and it's a very, very difficult to come out of this vicious cycle. Cannabis or marijuana, last year we have seized 1,400 kg, but this year our seizure has gone to 4,000 kg. The yaba tablets, very, very dangerous tablets, last year we have seized 13,000 tablets. This year our yaba tablet seizure has gone up to 61,000. Last year the other psychotropic tablets we have seized 17,000. This year our figure has gone to 44,000. The cup syrup, last year seizure was 27,000 bottle. This year we have seized 1.5 lakh bottle of cup syrup. Last year we have seized cash from the drug trafficker, 37 lakh. This year our figure has gone up to 47 lakh. The mobile phone from the drug trafficker, last year we have seized only 187. This year we have seized 401 mobiles from the drug trafficker. Why I am quoting these figures? You can very well imagine the well-oiled, the expensive network of the drug trafficker. Last year we have seized 67 number of vehicles. Our vehicle this year till today is 156, and most of these are the light motor vehicle, LMV, 4-wheelers. Then the last year we have, the 28 police stations of Meghalaya were involved in the drug trafficking cases. Meghalaya has 80 number of police stations. Last year, the cases were registered covering the jurisdiction of 28 police stations only, and this year it has gone up to 42 police stations. It means the problem is spreading from the urban to the rural areas, and this is a cause of concern for all of us. And I am thankful to the Chief Minister for his consistent guidance and unflinching support to the Meghalaya Police. And you will be happy to know in the month of April, he has sanctioned 1.5 crore rupees machinery for forensic science laboratory. Earlier, we used to send our samples for testing to outside the state, like Mizoram, Meghalaya, Assam, Chandigarh, and Dawan. Now, our forensic science laboratory is very well equipped to test all kinds of exhibits covering the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. After these problems, when the presentation was done before Honorable Chief Minister, he immediately approved the notifications of the advisory boards to take care of the PIT NDPS Act cases, because last year we have arrested only 15 number of repeated offenders. This year figure has gone up to 30. So why I am quoting these statistics? So that you can very well imagine the gravity of the drug menace problem in the state of Meghalaya.
Today's accord has been signed and is being signed by people who have come together to dream together, to share this ideal of turning Meghalaya into a dream world that it can become, and take it away from the nightmare it is sought to be pushed into. So friends, when I first joined the cabinet, I was asked to describe it, and I said it's a dream deal, little knowing that I would then be asked to head social welfare department with dream mission. When we speak of dreams, there are two facets and two aspects of dreams. One are dreams that send us into a state of slumber. But the dream, the other facet, is the dream that keeps us awake. And today, Dream Mission has kept us awake on our toes and trying our very best to deliver. I seek the support of each one of you. It's very easy to point fingers. It is more difficult for those fingers to come together and unite, and hand in hand we take this dream forward. When we heard of Martin Luther King and his fiery speech, I have a dream. And then over the years, we hear of ABBA and the pop number, I have a dream. Those lines go, I have a dream, a song to sing. I have a dream, I cross the street, I cross the stream, I have a dream. In our case, the challenge before Meghalaya is not just crossing a stream. We have to cross very high mountains, sail across oceans, navigate across difficult problems. Geologically, Meghalaya falls under a seismic belt. But as you heard from the DGP, geographically, we're also in another seismic belt, the Golden Triangle. So the challenges are tough, but then there's a saying that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And that's our motto, our aim as a government. Today, I acknowledge that with the active support of the Chief Minister, we have been able to proactively pursue this dream of ours. And as you can make out from the statistics that were shared, we are doing our very best to put our best foot forward in ensuring that we do eliminate drugs from Meghalaya as a state and as a society.
And what it is that we're trying to do. And I strongly feel that one must understand the larger picture and goal of what is it that we're trying to do. And I'll be very brief, but I need to explain what policy making and how we approaching governance in this MDA government that is now running in its 5th year and touching the 6th year. First of all, we need to differentiate and understand what kind of an economic model that we have. I have spoken about this in different forums, but I would like to share with you today about it because I feel you need to understand it. And I will build upon it. Meghalaya traditionally has been an economy, what we all call in economics as an extractive economy. An extractive economy is an economy that works based on extracting and using its resources. We sell our resources and we grow our economy. It is not sustainable in nature. And hence, the world across and countries across are moving towards what we call a regenerative economy, where we allow our resources to regenerate and we don't depend on our extractive resources to build our economy. Very complicated, I won't go into details about the theory part of it, but just the concept. But when we talk of a regenerative economy, the crux at what makes an economy a regenerative economy is precisely what Bapal had just mentioned to you. Time is our greatest resource. We all know that. And that's the reason why I always come on time for any program. Because I believe that not only am I wasting my time, but I'm wasting your time if I am late. And it's not fair for me to allow you to lose the greatest resource that we all have, which is time. But apart from this greatest resource of time, one of the more important resources for any nation is its youth. So no matter what resource we have, whether it's coal or limestone, these are all extractive economies and they will perish in days and years to come. And hence, it is only our youth. And that's why Israel is a great model. Singapore is a great model of economies which have been able to regenerate, basing their policy on the youth, which is, as I said, one of the greatest resources we have. If it was not for our community leaders and their support at the grassroots level, the challenges would have been much more difficult. We would not have been able to do the kind of things we were able to at least do to some extent. I'm not saying everything went perfect because it was a huge challenge. But if it was not for the community leaders, I'll tell you today, and I said it before also, it would have been very difficult. And hence, in every aspect of what the government is doing today, we have community participation. We are one of the first few states in the country today to have what we call village health councils. We have a village health council in every 6,800 plus villages in our state. They report to us every month. There is a SOP and a manual based on which they have meetings every month in the village explaining to the villagers what kind of health measures and preventive measures they should take in order to be more healthy. This is all community-based work that we're doing. We have community-based programs for environmental issues also. We have community-based programs for water resources also. So on and so forth. So hence what I'm trying to tell you, and I'll now cut short my speech and come to why we are all here. But I thought that you need to understand what goes on in my mind and in the other policy-making decisions that we do, and how we approach things, and why things are much different for us compared to, say, other governments or many years back maybe, or other state governments, where departments focus on schemes, departments focus on programs, departments program on UCs. Governments cannot work now only on schemes. You cannot work only on UCs. You cannot work only on reports that will be submitted. There must be a sense of purpose behind what you are trying to do. We need to focus on that purpose. What is it we're trying to achieve? And how will these different programs and schemes help us achieve that goal? That is the difference in the kind of governance that we are trying to do today.